Greetings, people. I have returned once more to bring you the truth according to the world. For the Orb Queen seems intent on shrouding the world with her lies. Quick side note to the group Bubba hackers who attacked Alison. I will say to them, I commend them for doing a job well done. But, in the same token, I had nothing to do with it. I wash my hands of it, for I am just a purveyor of information. I disseminate and share information. I debunk. I do not hack. I have no need to hack. But, hey! That's neither here nor there. We're here to talk about the main culprit behind all these visual UFOs in Murraysville. Yes, we're talking about the Orb Queen. And as you can see here, we have the Blissful Hill. This is where it all started. And if you tiptoe through the tulips, you'll find... not too far from the Blissful Hill, we have the humble abode of the Orb Queen, the person behind the infestation, the perpetration of all the lies concerning the UFO activity in Murraysville. Now we switch over to map view, and I will tell you what I wanted to tell you. For Alison is up to her dirty tricks once more. Oh, heavens to Betsy, no. Yes, people, in her network of liars and perpetrators, we have Alison. Alison surrounded by her network of, how shall I say it? Fraudulent individuals who are intent in eroding the very fabric of ufology. We have Oleg in Russia, filming airplanes. We have Vic 456 in New York. Hello, Vic, filming airplanes. We have Sheila Aliens in Texas. Hello, crazy Sheila. She also is filming airplanes. And how could I forget my very old favorite Orion IFO, who is actually stating he's having sex with the aliens who are in these planes. Excuse me. The laughter, I couldn't stop. These are the court jesters in the Orb Queen's court. These are the people she used as references to say that airplanes are not in the mix, but actual UFOs are. These are all, in every aspect of the word, all these individuals, her crowning jewel of court jesters, all have some mental issues. They all do. And if you don't believe me, go to each and every person's channel that I mentioned and just watch a couple of videos. You too will say, God damn it, doctor, up the CCs. They're not getting enough of their allocated medication. But hey, I'm not here to talk about these people. I'm here to talk about the Orb Queen. And when I talk about the Orb Queen, I am talking about Pittsburgh. And when I'm talking about Pittsburgh, I'm talking about Murraysville. Yes, Murraysville. For the Orb Queen has proclaimed there is a massive invasion in the works. And every night, like clockwork, she's out there filming a supposed UFO. When in fact we all know the Orb Queen is not filming UFOs. She is filming ba-ba-da-bum, airplanes from nearby airports. Ooh, sounds scary, but it's not, people. There's nothing to fear, for this woman is filming aircrafts, and in turn stating that she is actually filming UFOs from Planet Zulu or Dimension X, whatever you want to choose they're coming from. She claims they are from outer space. Not to not to take it lightly, I am one to believe in aliens. I've seen UFOs myself. But I, not for 1 minute, believe that this woman is filming UFOs. She is filming airplanes. Now, in her latest video, she states that UFOs are returning on a more regular basis, and that they are now supposedly flying and landing in a open field, supposedly over them darn hills, where supposedly she cannot reach this alien airport. And she says that the same UFOs land there on a nightly basis. I'm here to prove, first, one thing off the bat is the fact that she is surrounded by airports. Now I'm going to type in the word airport into this map, this Google map right here. And you're going to see one strange thing emanating. There are a lot of dots. And if she lives here, and this is the airport that she claims is a grassy knoll airport, and this is another grassy knoll airport, what about these airports? Well, let me just rattle them off just to make you feel at ease that I am not the purveyor of lies. Like she stated in her video, as she posted in her video, she has the Jeanette Regional Airport near her home, and she has the Monroeville Airport, both about 2 to 3 miles from her home. But why does she negate to mention the other airports that happen to be about 9, 12, 14 miles away from her home? Why? Why? Well, she won't answer that question. She won't even accept that there are other airports, but let's rattle it on. Let's say each airport so we could ingrain it into our heads. Well, let's start with Arnold Palmer Regional Airport, an airport that if you Google and get closer in, you will realize that this airport has major airplanes flying in and out of it. Then we have the Dunlea Air Park, another airport, smaller in nature, but hey, they got airplanes flying in there too. We have the Intercounty Airport. Hey, once again, another airport, they got airplanes flying in there too. Not that big, they're Cessnas, but hey, they populate the air and the sky, and whatever she sees in the sky, she calls it a UFO. And then here's a mid-range contender, Allegheny County Airport. Hey, that's not no airport by any stretch of the mind or the word. That airport has major airplanes coming in and out of it. Here we have another one, Ross Traver Airport. Boy, oh boy, that's another one she hasn't mentioned that's near her home. We have the Findlayville Airport. Hey, why hasn't Alison mentioned that airport? Hey, it doesn't believe. She probably thinks it's cloaked. It doesn't exist. Out of sight, out of mind. Right? Psychology 101? Okay. And where are we going to find the biggest major contender is Pittsburgh International Airport. I'm going to switch over to satellite view because people need to understand the little dirty secret that Alison seems always intent to hide from the masses. Every time she whips out her FAA reports and say, "Why don't you debunk me? These FAA reports are undebunkable. There are no signatures in the sky when I see my UFOs." All right, let me just burst that bubble right off the bat. Pittsburgh International Airport happens to be one of the largest airports in the eastern seaboard. It connects to major hubs. That being said, we already know that there are a lot of airplanes flying in and out of this airport. Mind you, they're taxiing routes. Any airplane that is waiting to land stretch out as far as 35 miles. 35 miles, people. This airport's 32 miles from Alison's home. So in essence, we can safely say planes that are taxiing and waiting to land at this airport can fly over her home. Hey, they have flown over her home. I've proved this in a past video, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not even here. The dirty little secret is about to be exposed. Right here in this little nub, if we get closer and closer, the secret shall be exposed. something Alison is afraid to say exists. This is a military base. It is the Force Reserve out of Pittsburgh International Airport. This airport has F-16s. It has F-16s. It has Apache helicopters. It has refueling tankers. It has other aircraft that are not listed. All aircrafts from the military can and will, on occasion, be stricken from the records of any FAA report. This is one point Alison doesn't mention. Every time she whips out her cheesy little FAA reports, she fails to mention that the Air Force Base that is 32 miles from her home can exclude themselves from the FAA reports. Hey, why does Alison do this? I don't know. I could only surmise that it fits perfectly with the scheme that she's trying to perpetrate on the masses. And that scheme being that these airplanes in in her vicinity of her home are UFOs. Why does she not mention that there's an air base near her home? Why does she not mention that there are numerous airports near her home? Why does she lie and say there's only 2 rinky-dink airports by her home? So, in essence, the sky is populated by numerous airplanes, both commercial and military. On occasion, when she uses flight aware, she says, oh, I get occasional hits and then I get occasional no hits. Well, could it be that when she's filming a military cargo plane that can omit itself from the FAA reports? Why doesn't she throw this in the mix? She picks and chooses what information she feeds to her groupies. Why? Why does she have something to hide? If she indeed is telling the truth, why does she not mention all the airports in her vicinity? Why does she not mention the Air Force Base in her vicinity? Why? I don't know. These are questions that she has to answer. Why does she ignore the FAA mandated routes? Why? I don't know. So in essence, she believes there are no routes that airplanes follow over her house. The skies are peppered with planes that follow and meander in whichever manner they seem fit to do so. There's no order to the chaos. They just fly and do what they want. According to Alison, this is the way things work. Unfortunately, in reality, the FAA has mandated routes, and these routes are flown by airplanes. So, here's another question for Alison. Why do the UFOs seem intent to follow these routes? Are they not superior beings from another planet? Why would they all of a sudden say, hey, while we're on this planet, guys, let's just follow these routes because we're going to fool the humans. And upon fooling the humans, we will then accomplish our invasion. So let's put on little blinky lights and act like planes and land in the middle of nowhere for no purpose, instead of engaging our cloaking devices or transporting ourselves through ultra-dimensional spaces. No, let's let them see us and then play games with them. Alison, your explanations make no sense. Your rationale is beyond preposterous, ridiculous, and bordering on the lunatic. Please, take some time to do some research. And when you get back with a viable answer, please, by all means, feel free to counterpost my video and answer these questions. I really would like to know what's going through your mind. Is it true that your Abdullah Ablonkada is not properly developed, and perhaps the information is being lost in translation? I don't know. But in this juncture, at this time point, it's safe to say that you have been thoroughly debunked with extreme prejudice. And hey, one more thing. Z lives.